What is that dreadful smell? Wow, what a horrid stench. Hello there. Do forgive me there, but unfortunately I could smell a horrid musk as you walked in, and I'm afraid that I think that it was your own personal aroma. Okay, yes. Well, the closer I get to you, yes, it's definitely you. Well, it certainly isn't me. Well, I wear a number of fragrances on a daily basis. Owning a fragrance shop, I am pretty good at knowing how to smell good. You, on the other hand, seem to lack the necessary fundamental basics of smelling like you've even washed. So that really is not pleasant for both you and I. Though you have come to the right shop, have you not? Oh, well, let me introduce myself. My name is, well, just call me sir. My name is only available for friends, and you are not in that category. Okay. What's your name? Okay. Right. I don't like that name, but that's great. But I'm still not telling you mine. Okay. So this area here, you may have noticed that we have a great selection of places to shop and buy things and get executive treatment. You know, suit stores and bespoke suits and barber shops for gentlemen and hairdressers for ladies and things like that. In here, I do fragrances, and I have a range of scents here on display at the moment. These are all in today's offer section, and I help people, probably not so much like yourself, but probably the more upper class person. But I help, let's say, an upper class person come in, and they've, you know, been out in the countryside or driving their big 4x4 somewhere, and they say, I need to smell great. Okay, and that's where I came in, because I can personally select the appropriate scent in order to help that person smell absolutely great, and their aroma and their new fragrance will, when they enter the room, people pick up on this. It is great for personal hygiene. It is also great for interaction with other people, though you're already a little bit handicapped with that, aren't you? Because of course no one really wants to interact with, you know, and especially with far from it at the moment. But I'm quietly confident that I can help you here. We could select you the perfect fragrance, whatever it might be, and get it packaged up, and hopefully for a reasonable price, of course. And hopefully we'll have you smelling presentable, at least. But though I'm not so sure that any of these fragrances, or even the stronger stuff, is going to do much but mask that really ghastly smell that you carry with you. Though we can try. Though I recommend to all of my customers, like yourself, it is important to wash appropriately before. Maybe put on a little bit of deodorant or something along those lines, you know, just make it pleasant for yourself and other people. And then when you come in here, you can really top it off with something really great and select the appropriate fragrance. So for example, we have the Sauvage here. That could be a fragrance you're interested in, or perhaps the Dupe Jump, quite a popular one there as well. We have the Victoria's Secret teas there, depending on your preferences, and a wide variety of other fragrances. Okay, so please inform me what you are particularly looking for today, and please tell me about your knowledge of fragrances too. I shall listen intently. Okay, so you're looking for something that everyone will love the smell of. Indeed, that is quite a task you have thrusted upon me, though I am afraid that we probably won't reach that criteria that you have just created there, though we could probably do something just to make you smell a little bit nicer. How does that sound? Well, of course it sounds great. I suggested it. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, how about, because let's just say I think someone like you would prefer it if we kept the price down just a little bit. Okay, so we won't do any of our, let's say, bespoke fragrances. The ones we make here, I think they're going to be just ever so slightly costly for you. Okay, so I'll spare you all that embarrassment. The ones we have on offer today, I'm sure, quietly confident we could select the appropriate one to match your personality. Fragrances are all about what a smell says about you. I mean, does your smell say that you are a smart, upright gentleman? Or are you a classy lady? Or are you someone who is just incredibly unhygienic and needs something as strong as possible to mask that? Okay, right. So we can go through selections. Anything that interests you, you can tell me, and we can get some tests done for you so you can smell them. Okay. So what, by looks at the moment, is there anything in particular which has caught your eye? Okay. Yes, right. But don't worry, there is no limit to how many you can test. Though I will reserve my, let's say, more expensive ones for the lords and ladies who come into my store. Okay. A fragrance shop can be exceptionally relaxing process, along with any other shop or store you might go in if you're getting measured for a suit. It's all about the personal experience which you get from me. So I'm going to give you the personal experience and help you have an excellent fragrance as can be, and you can relax. People come in here, find it very relaxing, experience the sound of the log fire and just the ambience of this place. You know, it's very upper class and very, you know, very this area. Okay, so perhaps this might help you on your way to becoming, you know, a little bit more upper class. Okay, so I hope that you don't think I'm insulting you. These are all things for sort of constructive criticism, you know, to help you along your way. So, how about that I select one for you first, and then you select one, and we'll see how we get on. So, I believe that we shall try first one with the Chupa Chups. Now, this particular fragrance, it's one that stays with you throughout the day. A lot of fragrances, they can be quite strong to begin with, but then it doesn't have a resonating, lasting presence, and it sort of evaporates and disappears into nothing. The Dupe Jump is something for, I think, someone like you who would take advantage of a scent which is, let's say, going to stay around for quite some time. So no matter how much of your personal aroma consumes you, this should hopefully combat that, okay, and make you smell good. So the smell is quite, let's say, a little bit sporty in nature, though it has a very warm fragrance to it. So I'll let you have a smell. Okay. And then just allow me to allow the fragrance to settle in, otherwise it begins to smell a little bit alcoholic. Okay, so this part of the process, I'm just going to ask you to come a little bit closer. Not too close, of course, just a friendly amount of closeness about there. I'm going to let you smell it. I'm going to place it underneath your head. Feel free to have a little smell. Okay. Quite a nice scent, isn't it? Okay, so how do you feel about that one? Of course. So a little breath in. That's great. Just move it around. Okay, so let us pop that one there. Okay, so that's quite an interesting fragrance. We have the I think something which might benefit you as well, because this is probably a little bit more cost effective, and the scent is still quite strong, though you would be more inclined to use this on a casual basis. So is there a particular event or time you'd want to wear it? Because I just merely assumed that you would wish to wear it just every day, you know, just to help with your general aroma first, and then if you wanted to use it for, I don't know, going away somewhere, going out for dinner, going out on a date, should someone wish to date you, of course, then you might want something just a little bit different to add on top. Okay, this one I have here, this one is quite a nice fragrance. It is more of a casual fragrance. This is the CK1 by Calvin Klein. Of course, you've probably heard of it. It's in quite a lot of shops. This is quite cost effective. The 100ml bottle, I believe you could probably get the 200 as well, should you wish to, if you like it enough. This has a little bit of different fragrance, but I think its intensity remains. So okay, so with the CK1, I'll just allow the scent and aroma to develop. So with the CK1, it has quite a gender neutral scent to it. So this means it's appealing to both genders. It doesn't have a feminine musk. It doesn't smell like a musk for males as well. It sort of bridges that point in between perfectly. So this is quite a unique fragrance, I always think. So perhaps if you were going to use this fragrance, it would be very casual days. Perhaps you might wish to keep it in your car and your automobile or your horse and cart. or your vintage car, whatever you drive around here. And then you could use that just to help improve the mask. It makes it very appealing for other people, especially if they were to, goodness knows why, want to get in your car. And they're greeted with a smell, because smells, after all, heighten the senses, are incredibly important on first impressions. Okay. And you can tell a lot about a person by the smell. Okay, just pop that one there. So, out of those two, so far, how are we getting on? Good. Well, I'm glad that there are two here for you as well, because these probably would be more suited to you, perhaps cost-wise. Though we can move on. So, is there anything else you would intend to use the scent for? Because I would recommend something a little bit different, a little bit more classy. Something which has come in by Gucci at the moment is their Guilty range, both for male and, of course, female as well. These have slight tones in it, which you could connect the similarities there in the scent as you smell it, but also there is a difference with the male scent. As you can tell, it's presented in an exceptionally appealing bottle there. Okay, bottles also sell fragrances, and it always helps to have a really good bottle. And the female. So let us try the Guilty from Gucci here. Now this is something which has exceptionally warm tones to the smell. Okay, yes, and this is another one which I think to begin with is a little bit strong, but as you go throughout the day it sort of develops and warms into something great, and by the end of the day people will still be complimenting you by this fragrance. So let me give you a little bit of a spray there. Okay. Okay. Pop that there. And let me just allow me to let this scent develop a little bit here. Okay. See, I can tell you can smell it already. So you just get a little bit closer. And how is that? Okay. I would offer you some coffee beans just to neutralize your palate a little bit. Though I'd prefer to have it as my coffee and you not to put yourself anywhere near my drink. Okay. Okay. How about another little smell there? Yes, really is a charming fragrance, isn't it? Okay. So like I said, it has a very warm but perhaps a little bit spicy fragrance. Though this, I believe, is very attractive and is a scent which I think draws people to you. So should you wish to have something like that, God forbid why someone would wish to be drawn near you, of course. Though I think this Gucci would really help, let's say, make you a little bit more approachable and feel a little bit more classy and warm. So that's the Guilty for women there. So let us try the male version as well. excuse me. Let's get a strip there. Right. So. Okay. So you will notice with this one subtle hints which are similar to the female version, but as you will soon find out, it has a really sort of watery, inviting scent. Okay, this one I wouldn't say is as strong as the female version. Come closer. There we go. Nice deep breath in there. Exhale. That's great. Nice deep breath again. Okay, that was a little bit too close. Okay, just keep a little bit of respectful distance between us. But this really is something that I think gives off the same qualities as the other Gucci. There, its subtle differences and aroma that it gives out is something which I believe could be suited for someone like you. Let's pop that there. Right. Well, I think I've selected 4 good ones there for you. If I was to recommend something there for you, so this is taking in consideration your personality, this general sense of, let's say, a relaxing spirit I see before me. It's almost borderline exceptionally arrogant and rude that you look like you're about to fall asleep, but like I said, it is a little bit of a relaxing process, so whether it's more that side or if it's on the other side of being a little bit rude, I still believe that probably out of the Dupe Jump CK for a more personal, casual touch, and then something but later on, I think the Gucci would suit you. Though those are my selections, of course. We can try anything you want here. Like I said, this is probably just a little bit more in your price range, so I'd probably stick with something from the table here. Okay, so please by all means select something. We have the Armani coat there, we have Paco Rabanne 1 million there, Victoria's Secret tees, ones from the more sort of common shops like Zara. You might find those in a lot of local shopping malls, not in this area, but they do their own fragrances, and we stock those because I think they're quite nice casual ones, like I said, a car scent or something along those lines. And we have the Versailles blue jeans here, and this is a very attractive bottle here. This is probably one of the cheapest fragrances, though I strongly believe that someone like you, who by the looks of it is already attracted to the bottle here, has a very interesting and appealing fragrance bottle, because it's not only about the fragrance, the bottle has to sell the fragrance and give you a taste of what is in store and what type of smell it is. So this has lines on the front. It looks like it's going to be a little bit impactful and certainly pack a little bit of a punch. And I noticed you eyeing that up, but unfortunately that one's not for you. I'm only joking, of course. I'll quite happily try that. Is that something you wish to try? Okay. Select a couple more testers for you. Let's get a couple out here. Right. So this is the Versailles blue jean. Something which does have a very attractive scent, though it's a quite a cheap fragrance, though I believe that you might actually be quite interested in this one. Okay, so I just get a couple of sprays on there for you. Okay, another one there. and one more on the back, so you can really get a sense of what this one smells like. Right, okay, so just a couple of deep breaths in there, okay. Excellent. You know the drill, just a little bit closer. Okay. Right. So what do you make of that? So it's quite, it packs a little bit of a punch. It has quite a, I'd say like a rustic scent to it. Though I believe that something like this would actually be quite suited for you in some strange way. It's almost potent enough that it's like your own aroma, quite potent, and it might actually supersede that smell. So that could actually be quite a good pick for you the first side. So when it comes to wearing one of these aromas, let me show you. Watch it. Okay, I'll do it with the Joe Jump. So where would you place your sprays amongst your body? Because this is exceptionally important for when fragrance and scent to understand where to be applying this. So if you were doing something straight from the bottle, like one of our own brands, okay, our own scents, so probably shave, or not shave if you sport a beard, or if you're female, you wouldn't do either. A little bit on your hand, okay, perhaps rub it in a little bit, make sure it's on fingers, give it little taps on your neck. I think the neck is very important for fragrances because when people come close to you and talk to you, that is what they're going to smell. With clothes, it sometimes dampens and softens the scent. With these certain fragrances, I believe probably popping them just a spray either side behind of your ear, rub it in just ever so slightly, and that will give you quite a charming aroma for the day. That fragrance will not be so impulsive and you'd smell it because it's so close to your nostrils. Sit behind, so it sort of casually makes its way at the front, so when you're in social situations, that all of these, the best advantage would be behind there, and you would sort of give off a lovely sort of non-intrusive smell, and that's why I always spray it there and there. Of course, I think down the shirt as well, that's quite popular. Also, if you wish to go a little bit further, perhaps on your jacket, right, so let me show you. Okay, so perhaps I'll go like this here, go like that there. So that collects the aroma and it sort of stores it in there. If I wanted something down my shirt, so I'd probably do this before I put a shirt on, but I'll give it a couple of sprays there. And then I would spray there, a little bit of a rub there, spray there, a little bit of a rub there, and that would be perfect. I think you do. So many people overdo it. You know, they would get their fragrances, they would just spray it on wherever, literally everywhere. Say if it was sort of the more unsavory people who take pleasures in the evening's events, and they completely absorb themselves with the fragrance, and it's too powerful and too strong, and it really can become overpowering. You need something that's subtle, that invites someone to you. You mustn't be overly hasty with the amounts of spray that you put in yourself. Those key points is a great tip to remember there. Okay, so that was the Versailles Blue Jeans. Was there any other particular one? So like the Victoria's Secret Teas, I'll just give you a little bit of a spray in that as well. This is quite a strong yet a very appealing smell, and this suggests, even though it's called teas, it suggests a little bit of an element of that, but also this very sort of inviting, cozy, comforting smell as well. It sort of mixes tones together perfectly. Okay, so allow that smell to develop in there. Okay. Right, please come forward a little bit. There we go. Alright, so just breathe in for me just a little bit. Okay. Please step back. Great. So as you notice from that smell, it has a little bit of a fruity taste, or smell, shall we say. And this is something which I think is, to begin with a little bit, it's quite strong, but as the day develops, it really matures into something quite pleasant and really appealing. So that is something which I would recommend, not on a casual day. That's more of a sort of, you're doing something quite nice, whether it be going out for dinner, lunch, something along those lines. Gucci is more sort of important events, I would say. The Juke Jump CKs, the Versailles jeans is more casual. Probably the Versailles is something a little bit more eventful with more people, and would probably benefit you a little bit more. How about we test the Sauvage Noir? That seems to be quite a popular one. The Zara one's a very neutral one. The CK is, I would say, gender neutral as well. It carries subtle tones, but it has a very wintry-esque scent to it, which I don't think will suit you because you already have that frosty appearance. Okay, so let's get another one done for you here. Right. So the Sauvage by Noir. Allow it to develop. Okay, we'll come to you, don't worry. There we go. Okay. So the smell is quite musky, and it's not something you associate with a really inviting smell, but it has a very, I'd say, masculine scent. It's very pleasant. It's warm, but at the same time it's quite rugged. And this could be something where you wear a suit or something along those lines. However, I cannot imagine you would wear something like that. But I think the Sauvage would be perfect for something along those lines. And it really has a bit of a presence to it. Okay. And we'll pop that one there. Okay, a little bit more expensive than the casual ones though. Okay, and the Marni Code, I'd say, is probably a little bit of a smarter fragrance there as well. And then the Giorgio Armani there, along with the Marni Code there. The C, that is something which is an exceptionally nice fragrance. And I think this one is probably for someone a little bit more classy, let's put it that way. So if you used to wear that one there, it would make you smell very inviting to people, but it reflects the price. This one, it's not a real scenty, musky one which hangs around. It's quite a fragile smell, so could match your persona. This, to me though, is an exceptionally nice smell. I do have favorites here. It's the C, Gucci, the T's, they're all my favorites. Gucci there, Juke Jump. The 1 million is something when you want something a little bit extra, something a little bit more, I'd say it's probably more of a common scent. You could always smell this from a mile off, though it has a sort of nightclub appeal to it. Notice we appear to run out here because people keep testing it, but if I just wave that close to you there, see it's quite a strong collection of smells in there, and it has this sort of woody scent, but quite overpowering, though it's notorious for that, and the packaging almost reflects it, this very gold theme they have, though that's something which I would use perhaps more on an evening out, you know, if you enjoyed a cigar and a couple of bottles or something, in your case about 20 bottles or something. Okay, so was there any in particular here which took your fancy that you wanted to purchase? We've gone through a selection then. I hope there's been something here that I can offer you to take. If you leave it to my discretion, then I'll give you 2, perhaps even 3. I would give you I think the Versailles or Jeep Jump, between those 2. Okay, something a little bit more smart and gaudy would suit you exceptionally well. If you wanted a little bit more casual every day, the quantity might suit you a little bit more here. Though I don't know. I think those are the ones that I'll toy with for now. Anyway, you could always come back and have another scent testing experience. Though I could tell at the moment that probably you'll need to start using the scents and work out how to use them, and then I'd probably enjoy your company just ever so slightly more, and hopefully you won't look so relaxed and switched off right now. Okay, there is something here which you could take with you. I'll pop that in there. What have you purchased? So it's a taster of the Acrobat 1 million there for you. So just a little gift from us here. Okay, so please. You mean you're not going to buy any whatsoever? What a wicked sense of humour you have. I was getting ready and prepared to literally throw you out of the store now for wasting my time. I jest. I don't. Okay, so about we do the Jeep Jump. Now, of course, with this selection here, these are all brand new. I've literally just opened them now in front of you now. When I saw you come in, all testers are brand new, so you can take the ones at an ever so slightly discounted price. How about that? Okay, I think that would suit someone like you. Okay, Jeep Jump. Okay, so I'll just fetch the box. Okay. Feel free to relax and select whilst I try and find this. Okay. There we go. So, quite a nice box here. So I shall pop that in there for you. Jeep Jump. There we go. And I'll pop that in a nice gift bag for you there as well. So, pop the Jeep Jump in there. Is there anything else which you would like? Oh, really? Okay, well, let me check that I've got the box that's right. Okay, well, if that's something which you wish as well, then certainly this is quite a smart choice, I think. So let me just collect the box there as well. Okay, and was there any other that you were interested in? So, like I said, the Gucci was one of my favorite ones here, though you seem to have picked the other one. Okay, so large for suits. Well, that's exceptionally wise choice. So the Versailles blue jeans. Okay, well, they of course are clothes makers, and they specialize in that, but the scents sort of accompany their clothes, if you like that sort of thing. But I think you've been quite savvy in your selection, because the Versailles will act as quite a musky scent, which will hopefully penetrate that smell which you carry with yourself now. So when you spray that on yourself, it should mask that and hopefully be more pleasant for other people. So great selection there. Okay, this one comes in pleasant tin. Okay, I'll just try and delicately place that in there for you. Excellent. Okay, I really didn't assume you'd be getting probably more than two. So I'm exceptionally impressed with your selection there. You just didn't strike me as that type of person who could, you know, perhaps afford my exceptionally, let's say, reasonable prices. That's excellent. Oh, and let me pop that tester in there for you as well. So if you, should you wish to purchase that, you can come in next time to test it and smell it. So nothing else which takes your fancy for an extra scent. That's the teas or Paco Rabanne. Okay, there's the Zara one. Maybe not. Let me see what I can do for you. Because you've been quite, I'd say illustrious, but that's far from that. But reasonable customer today, and even though I've had to sort of cover up your scent as well, hopefully it doesn't stick in any of this store in here and make it unpleasant for the lords that come in here and ladies. We've got quite tuned senses. You've been pleasant enough and respectful enough in the store, so I'm quite happy to give you a little bit of a discount if that's something which you would like. Okay, so I think CK could suit you. Perhaps, let's see how much space we got in there. Not much space there. Okay, how about that I pop in? I'll pop in the CK there, in there for you. Okay, we'll stick that in there. Pop that on top. See if that will fit its way in there. No, unfortunately, it doesn't. So, okay, we will pop that there again. And if I had a bigger bag for you, then I would be able to include that for you. But unfortunately, I don't. So I would say take it, but I can't have you seen walking around here without the appropriate packaging for the fragrances. So, okay, so as long as you're happy with those selections there, great. Excellent. Well, I will pop that there for you, so you can take and enjoy your new fragrances. Excellent. So please, by all means, take it. Great. So I hope that you enjoyed your experience here at the fragrance store. The general thing that we like to promote here is a real personal, one-on-one experience for you to come in, relax. It's very, very therapeutic to come and try fragrances and experience different smells and scents, heighten the senses, of course. I think even someone like you can understand the pleasures of fragrances and the importance that it has in just everyday life. It really is something us as humans are naturally drawn towards. Okay, so I can invoice you, or you could just swipe your card over there. Okay, well, I'd prefer you to do it now, just to make sure there's doesn't get declined there. Could you just swipe it there? That would be perfect. That's great. Of course, yes. No, there's no need to hesitate. All of our prices here are exceptionally competitive. Excellent. Perfect. That's what we like to see. So, of course, I hope you enjoyed your fragrances, your experience here. This is the one and only fragrance shop that you would want to come to, because you will not find prices or an experience to match this, of course, because you're treated like lords, ladies, as everyone should be. Maybe not so much you, but we can work on that. Okay, so enjoy your fragrances, please. People will know where you got that from, because they will see a scent and they'll be naturally drawn. Oh, you've been to the fragrance store. You must be an upper class, classy individual. Okay, that's the kind of reputation that I like to give to people. Okay, so I would say it was absolutely lovely and charming to serve you, but that was probably for you, for me to serve you. For me, it was, let's just say, part of my job today. Okay, so take care of yourself. We'll see you again soon. Cheerio. Yes, good day.